coming off of a beatdown win of the Washington Commanders, 38-14. People in the national media were saying that the Seahawks team might be the best in the NFL, and I was telling everyone, pump the brakes, and it led to some very interesting comments in our chat in the last video. However, now Seahawks fans, I'm switching it. Hit the gas pedal, because after that win over the Cardinals, I just got to admit it, they are playing the best football in the NFL. What is up, 12th man Seahawks fans and NFL fans at large? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for checking this video out. If you look on our site, we have other videos, which we'll dive more into. We have our YouTube lives, in which we predict every game. You see me and my guy, Tony El Tigre, going in and breaking down with the odds and our predictions. And we also have our playlist for every single team, which we update every week with our preview and review of them. And let's see what we said about the Seahawks. I'm embarrassed about this one. For some reason, this line only keeps coming up. Just ignore that. But we said that the Cardinals would keep it close against the Seahawks. And a banger of a video. Shout out to everyone who watched. And you know what I mean, enjoyed this one. But we said that they would smoke the Commanders, and we asked, are the Seahawks one of the best teams in the NFL? I think we kind of got our answer. We also said they would cook the Texans, and they did. So check out some of these other videos, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Now back to the episode. And right now, when you look at the Seahawks, I mean, they just continue to pile up these wins. 7-2, second in the conference. Now, that spot is in a lot of danger, and we're going to find out a lot about it this week. More on that in a moment. But for the Seahawks to come out this year and be the number 2 seed, 9 games in, really, really impressive stuff. And I don't think anyone expected this team to be this good with a new quarterback and a second-year head coach. But they have just been snapping. They added Kubiak in as the offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, and he's been going crazy. Special teams with the Harbaugh son is going wild as well. And when you look at the division, this is the only thing right now that the Seahawks, I think, really should be concerned about. But we're going to see it coming up this week, because the Rams are right there, 7-2, right on their heels. And remember, if the Rams were to overtake the Seahawks and win this division, the best the Seahawks could be, let's say at the end of the year the Rams had more wins, or they have that tiebreaker, the best that the Seahawks could be is the 5 seed, and they wouldn't get home field. So huge game coming up, because they actually play each other this week. So a big game coming up. But right now the Seahawks 2-1 in the division, the Rams 1-1, and the 49ers, can't forget about them. They sit there at 6-4 in this division as well, but 3-1 specifically against the division. So still a very good rating for them, and they actually beat the Seahawks. So definitely a concern, because if they beat you twice, like for instance Week 18 they play, if they beat you twice, they would end up having the tiebreaker over you if you had the same record. And let's see how the Seahawks got to this point. Week 1, that loss to Brock Purdy and the 49ers, where the 49ers clutched up. Darnold, this offense hadn't gotten rolling yet, but then it was on. They beat the Steelers 31-17 very handily. They smoked the Saints 44-13. Beat the Cardinals barely. That was a Thursday night game. Tough game, but they outlast them. Tough loss to the Buccaneers. I remember that one. All of their secondary players got hurt, but then they bounced back. Good win against the Jags, 20-12. Good win against the Texans, 27-19. And then they just smoked the Commanders and the Cardinals. 4-game winning streak. And they've won, 7 out of their last 8. And their one loss in that stretch being a 3-point loss to a Buccaneers team. That's really good. And they lost to a 49ers team that's 6-4 and very good. So going forward, when you look at them, you got the Rams next, and that's a huge game for them in the division, the conference, like all of those things. and they play the Rams twice, so that's a big one. And then you play them again Week 16. However, Titans, you're going to smoke them. Vikings, Falcons, I would expect them to win. Colts is a big game as well. So interesting schedule coming down the stretch for the Seahawks. But this season so far has been amazing, and they are really gearing up right now as we look at this last stretch of the year. In our new segment, I love this segment. We call it Comment of the Week. We scour our comments and we look for the best comment from each team. This one popped off. Shout out Seahawks fans. We heard a lot from you guys. We're going to mention a couple of these comments because I don't want to leave out these. And they start some interesting conversations, much more interesting, I guess, from a competitive standpoint than the game. Go Hawks 3571. We had a great conversation, but it started with just coming across this video. I appreciate the honesty and the lack of glazing. 3 thumbs up. I got you. We don't glaze. We're riding high, and it feels good. But it also feels weird, and I've been trained by Seahawks past to not be full of it. We have a harder schedule going forward. I'm still ecstatic having Mike Macdonald, Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, and Sam Darnold, and this whole team. They've come together beautifully. And if we, God forbid, lose, I know we'll learn from that, which is different from times in the past. It's nice. We've moved on from almosting into playing our hearts out. 3 muscle emojis. Just wish we as fans weren't so schizophrenic. Lol. I love this team. Couple hearts. That's funny. And we're going to get into some more of the comments, but that's funny because I consider my visual of the Seahawks is always Legion of Boom, like that team winning the Super Bowl and looking like one of the most dominant defense of all time. But reading that from Go Hawks, it was one of those things where I had to kind of reevaluate. Hold up. They did lose the next Super Bowl, and then they had a lot of those Russell Wilson years where they were like 10-win team, losing early in the playoffs, and then Geno Smith, a lot of the same things. So I agree. I think Sam Darnold has more upside than late-end Russell Wilson, as we're seeing, and Geno Smith, as well as I think Macdonald. He's a better coach than what Pete Carroll was putting across toward the end. It still seems like they had all that talent. Last year they did miss the playoffs, but they thought Geno was the problem. It clearly proved true, as well as they needed a better offensive mind, so you bring in Clint. So I definitely think like if they were to lose in the playoffs, as long as, and this is what I said to them, as long as you don't get a full-on collapse, I'd be feeling good. Another one from Aki Hokwapop. Swear to God, that's his name. Best I can pronounce it. Hawks fan here. Few things. Did the boys play Daniels? Because I was mentioning the Cowboys and how they had beaten down Jaden Daniels, so not to get too hyped. Because he is their team. I agree when the Hawks beat the Rams. When the Hawks beat the Rams, crazy. First off, yes, the Cowboys did play Jaden Daniels when they smoked them. Second, when the Hawks beat the Rams, we will know they are a Super Bowl team, possibly even making it to 15-2. If they lose that game to a defense that essentially doesn't have a secondary, we can call it paper tigers. But my guess is JSN roasts them for 200+ yards, which he nearly did last season. The Rams secondary is awful. You do need to protect against them, but the Seahawks offensive line is very good. I love the confidence of that, and Seahawks fans are feeling good. From Blake Hasgina, 5888. The Seahawks do not have home field advantage anymore. Been to a game or two, and we are outnumbered. The 12s right now are dormant. They weren't dormant this game, and I definitely thought that was interesting because I saw them against the Texans. It didn't feel like the juice of a Seattle crowd. This game against the Cardinals, they were loud. They were boisterous. I think they realize now that they have one of those teams taking it back to Legion of Boom, even if they're a little different. But they are attacking. And Patrick Hayne, 9470. Nope, they are the best. You know what, Patrick? I can't disagree with you. That was a performance. That was like, I don't know. That was the most dominant game from any team this weekend. Because of how good they were, it just had you looking like, oh my goodness. you see some of the highlights, but just going back watching the game, I mean, it was over like that. Like, they start the game off, and I know it's 35-0 in the second quarter, but it was not only was it over like that, they're very smart, well coached. You saw the first drive, they go down the field, boom, boom, pick you apart, and then they throw a bomb to JSN. JSN did something that I just started watching all the games this year. Maybe more people do it than I think, but he actually, like an NBA rebound, not like, oh, I'm going to get position. He actually was running. Somehow while running, saw the ball, slowed down just a little bit, starts boxing out the defender so there's no way they can get around him, and he's got enough space, and then he just leaps, catches the ball. It was a thing of beauty. JSN, we had the article. I call them all articles. I don't know why. They're video articles, I guess. But we had the video about 3-4 weeks ago proclaiming it. I made my stamp, and when I say it, I haven't said this. I said about Jalen Hurts at quarterback. I haven't said this at Jonathan Taylor about running back yet. That one's probably coming out soon. But I said about JSN at wide receiver. He is the best wide receiver in the league because he was doing stuff every week that was like, oh my goodness. And this week with that touchdown, same thing. And then the defense. I mean, this dude, I got to get his first name because I just know him as Knight, the Dark Knight. But they sent in Knight on a blitz. Jacoby Brissett had been playing pretty well. He had put up, give you guys examples, the Cowboys defense stinks, so he put up 27 on them, but he put up 23 on the Packers, 27 on the Colts. Those two teams are solid. Really, really good. Actually, Colts actually lead the AFC, so maybe a little better than solid, but they could be descending, but whatever. And, I mean, the Seahawks came out, and Knight with that forced fumble, the first one, punches the ball out. I'm going to get this guy's first name as we go, but punches the ball out. DeMarcus Lawrence scoops it, scores it. This is like 3 plays after the touchdown when the Cardinals have the ball. And so now you're up 14-0. Then, on a kick return, 42, I'm going to get his name too, flew in there, punches the ball in the kick return, leads to another short field. The Seahawks score again, and it's just 21-0 off of those turnovers in the blink of an eye in the first quarter still. So you come out in the first quarter, just locked, loaded, ready to go. We've seen this defense so far this year do this. We've seen the special teams honestly do it as well. The special teams purely won them the Saints game that they blew out 44 to 13 in that game. And yes, the Saints can be bad, can be very bad, but I mean, the Saints just beat the Panthers. Like, the Saints are semi-respectable. Tyrese Knight, that's the guy who punched out the fumble. 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles on those blitzes up the middle. And the guy who forced the punch out, we don't even have his name, 42 on the Seahawks. Oh, Drake Thomas. Oh, he actually plays defense for them, has 6 tackles. But he forced that fumble on the special teams. And, so it's 21-0. Second quarter starts, and Tyrese Knight yet again flies in, forces the fumble. The first one he hit his arm, and Brissett kind of fumbled. This one he just hits the ball, smacked it out clean. DeMarcus Lawrence recovery, boom, boom, boom. Then, I mean, the whole game, they were fast, they were physical, they were hitting the crap out of people. And it was just a crazy performance. Halani had a TD run, his first run of the year. I remember George Halani in the preseason running really hard. I'm like, do they have another running back? They do. He got a touchdown, only his 14th carry of the year. There's so much talent on this team as well. Schneider continues to build up crazy units. You even got Cooper Kupp later in the game when it was 35-0. Darnold moving around the pocket, moves up, throws it sideways, and Kupp just takes off for 50 yards. And you got Charbonnet hurdling people. Darnold only missed 2 passes. What I will say about Darnold, and hopefully he doesn't do this in close games, but he just randomly throws like these picks in these blowout games. He did it against the Texans that kind of sort of made it a little bit interesting for no reason. He does it from time to time. You want him to kind of rein it back a little, especially when you're up this much. Just don't throw a pick, dude. But I get it. Like, it could just be like, hey, I'm trying to put on a show, dude. I'm having fun. I'm slinging this, John. But 10 for 12. Darnold's been great this year as well. They're just locked in. And Macdonald, I saw it early in the season. Now, I didn't know that they'd be quite this good, but I was like, yo, the coaching advantages that they're getting offensively, defensively, and special teams-wise has been significant this year against pretty much every team that they've played. Now, here's the point, and here's kind of one of the issues. Jay Harbaugh, by the way. Jay Harbaugh is their special teams coach. I can't keep calling him the Harbaugh guy. Jay Harbaugh. He's their special teams coach. He's been going crazy. And Macdonald, hey, look, Jay Harbaugh might be getting a job soon, dude. This special teams it's actually absurd how good they are. But, like, you look at this team, and that's why we're interested so much in this Rams game. I don't think you're just going to go out there and completely out-coach a McVay team or a Shanahan team the way that they have coaching mismatches, as unfortunately they did. Well, unfortunately for the Cardinals, as they did against Jonathan Gannon. So I would have to say, I mean, right now, the way that they're playing, the way that they're executing, I did say hold off on the Commanders. The Cardinals aren't that much better, but the Cardinals don't lose like that. They play every game close. So that was crazy, and it's just we're gonna find out so much with them versus the Rams. I would even disagree with their paper Tigers if they lose this game. I think that them and the Rams are just gonna split. I think that offensively, defensively, those are the two teams playing at the best level in the NFC. I am an Eagles fan, so maybe that. Hey, look, Seahawks fans, maybe that gives you more credence. I still think the Eagles will end up getting done what I hope they get done. But when you watch the games, like this Seahawks team, they are firing on all cylinders, and it's really impressive to watch. It's 4:25. I think I'm actually gonna have to miss the first part of the game, unfortunately. But I'm going to watch as much as I can. That game is going to be a movie, and I'm super duper excited about it. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Seahawks, Rams. I'm going to be enthralled in that game, and I'm excited to see which team ends up being the better unit in that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.